Michael, you mentioned there about hurling being, the greatest field sport. You've a mad interest, and you probably still are interested in the rally driving as well. So whatever chaos you had in studio, I'd say paled in comparison to driving a rally car at God knows what speeds with my own Irish independent colleague Vincent Hogan doing co-pilot for you, I believe, for many years.
Yeah, well, as I said to you, I'm a huge fan of field sports like the hurling that I mentioned. Maybe I was too much of a fan of it because I spent some time in a lot of fields around the country in the rally driving days, which I wasn't necessarily supposed to be in. But I remember one day down in doing the Circuit of Ireland down in Kilkenny someplace. And the way it works is you roll up to the start and you start at intervals of 30 seconds. And it's a very tense time because you're belted into the car, you have the helmet on, and you're about to take on this very, very tricky challenge. And you're concentrating like mad. And your co-driver, Vincent, as you said, is giving you the countdown, 20 seconds, 15 seconds. And as he gets to about 10 seconds, I heard this sudden mad rapping on the window of the car. And there's this fella standing beside the rally car. And I thought there was something wrong. So I roll down the window and he looks in at me, he says, "Just stick to the television, will you?" That was his comment on my rally driving.
Did you look? You must have loved it though. It's an unusual pursuit, shall we say? It definitely wouldn't be for everyone, given the danger involved.
I know. I mean, but look, the crack was mighty. One of the great things about a sport like that is that the camaraderie between the competitors was just unbelievable. Like when you went out on the roads and you went out on the stages, you wanted to beat the other guy, and you'd be thick as anything with yourself if he was a couple of seconds quicker than you or whatever the case may be. But at the same time, competitors never saw each other stuck. You know, if somebody had a problem, they were there to help you. And I remember Cyril doing the Galway rally and a stage not too far from your neck of the woods out there. The clutch went in the car. So I couldn't get off the line for a couple of stages. So what I had to do was used to have to go to the competitors who were starting the stage behind me to push me off the line. I would be able to get a start in second gear, but there was no first. And they would push me off the line and they would push me away, and I'd kickstart the car and get going. But every time I asked them to do this, and they would have to get out of their own rally cars to come and push me. But I heard one of them as he's pushing me down the road. I needed to push like for about 20 or 30 yards just to get it kicked. And as we're going down, he says to one of the other fellas, "He's a desperate fucking idiot."
Tomas, I'm wondering, would you have trusted him enough to get into the car with him?
I tell you what, I wouldn't have trusted getting into the car if he was in it.
No, I wouldn't have trusted it. He tells some great stories about his days in the cars and stuff like that as co-pilot, and scary moments. I'm sure when he landed in defeat, he did hurling the ball in the boot for the greatest game that he spoke about hurling, and had a few pucks when he was waiting to be pulled back out. But no, I never did. No, maybe I did once or twice I'd say, but nothing at the speed he'd be going on a rally and over ditches and through gates and around corners and stuff like that as well. I mean, he tells some great stories about it. Yeah,
we had a car at one stage, Michael, which was a left-hand drive, and this was in the days of the old big turbos in cars. And the thing about the turbos was they flew out the turbo a huge flame when you changed down. It just boom like that and made a terrible noise and all that kind of stuff. And we were doing the Rally of the Lakes in Killarney one year, and there was a nighttime stage, and you could see this flame down behind you for about 50 yards. I mean, it was very spectacular now, I have to say. But the thing about it was the car was left-hand drive, so everything was the other way around in it, including where the turbo pipe was at the back of the car. And that night in the Gleneagle Hotel, this fella came over to chat to us, and he says to me, he said, "Can I ask you a question?" He said, "I was watching you out there on that stage," he says, Knockfield, and he said, "I noticed," he said, "the flame comes out of the back of your car, the other side. Is there any particular reason for that?" And before I got a chance to say anything, my partner at the time, Enda Nolan from Cardo, says to him, "Oh no," he said, that's very simple. He says, "We had to change that." Your man says, "Why?" He says, "Oh, we were getting an awful lot of complaints from women." And he says, "Getting complaints from women?" He said, yeah, he said, the thing is, like, we like to cut the corners in very tight, but Jesus, sure, the poor old turbo wasn't a burning the tights off them. And we had to put it over the other side of the car. And he looked at the two of us and he said, no, Jesus, he said, there's a thing you'd never think of.